All right, welcome everybody to either Body Odor Vlog 83 or 84. Today is a Sunday. It's somewhere close to 2 p.m. and it's the 14th of August. I have some things I want to show and things I want to talk about relating to body odor because there were some things that happened this week. One thing is I've actually went to a gastroenterologist this week and I got a couple of tests done. Another thing is I reached out to a couple of people. But let me first start talking about certain comments I read on my videos, which prompted me, encouraged me to look into certain things. So I remember one of my vlogs, I was talking about how I just need some type of doctor to, I don't know, evaluate some type of bodily fluid that I have, any type of bodily fluid, and maybe that will give me maybe they can analyze it and determine what I have because I strongly don't believe I have T-mal. I tested for T-mal back in 2013 and I got a negative result. Now, a part of me still wants to do it again because it's 13, that's like almost 10 years ago. And maybe I should try it every 10 years, test it out, who knows. So I do want to try it again, but that also actually goes into something I want to talk about. I reached out to the Monell Center. Let me see if I can go to the Monell Center here. I reached out to the Monell Center and they have a contact us. And they ask you to send in your questions and they have a contact type. And one of them is like T-mal or information about T-mal, I think. Yeah, questions about T-mal, body malodor. And I reached out to them and either one or the other. Okay, here is the submission I had. So this was my message. Hello, I've been suffering from body odor condition for at least 17 years of my life. For some time, I thought I had T-mal, but I took a test in 2013, came out negative. I recently got another test taken this year, and this is all the way out in Japan. They use some type of gas chromatography. They could equipment to determine what odorants were coming off my shirt, and the results were reported that I did not have any signs of T-mal, but they detected other odorants like blah, 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 blah. And they responded, thank you for your email about T-mal. We are here to help in any way we can. And we do hear from many patients with similar situations and questions as yours. You're not alone. We are not a clinical research center. We do have some resources that may help. However, testing for T-mal is no longer available through Monell. They used to do it, and the shit was expensive. It was like somewhere between $600 and $700, by the way. But now they're all directing this like testing to the Children's Hospital of Colorado. And I actually emailed them, and this is my first message. I said, hello, I tested myself for T-mal back in 2013. I received a negative result. So I'm aware I don't have T-mal, but I know that it has something similar to this condition because when I eat certain food, I tend to give off a smell that's undetectable to me, but others react to it. I've been dealing with this condition for 17 years, and I want to know if there is a way, if you can analyze my urine or other bodily fluids, determine if I have unusually high excretions of whatever chemical or compound, maybe I should switch to two, chemical or compound that might be found in the sample. They returned the message, good morning. Unfortunately, we do not have a test that will be able to provide what you're asking. We can only recommend that you speak to a physician about your options, which I want to stop right there. That's sort of weird. Okay, so you're telling me that you have like this, I don't know, this machine that can analyze urine and determine, or they have some process to analyze urine and determine that you have high amounts of whatever, T-mal or something, but you can't determine if it has other things that might be in the urine. There's not like any type of process or machine that can determine, oh, you have high amounts of this as opposed to that, which is unusual. I think that's fucking weird or odd, but all right. I mean, I feel like there should be some type of machine, some type of device that can like break down, just like you break down blood and you see that you have high amounts of this or high amounts of that. You should have some type of machine that can break down bodily fluid and say, you have high amounts of this, unusually high amounts of that, but they don't have that. Weird. Okay, back to the thing. So then I said, all right, well, I was reading up on the first person who was diagnosed with T-mal, which now goes into an article I want to show you. This article is called Trimethylaminuria Causes and Diagnosis of a Socially Distressing Condition. Now, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I do want to read this short passage about the history. So let's read it. So individuals with a pungent odor resembling the smell of dead fish have been remarked on since ancient times. Perhaps that acute observer of the human personality, William Shakespeare, had met somebody with this condition, which in the Tempest he ascribed to the deformed and savage slave Caliban. There are said to be two allusions to this condition recorded during the 19th century in the Lancet, which had not been proved possible to trace, but the first clear clinical case report is attributed to Humbert et al. Okay? So the first clear clinical case is attributed to a guy named Humbert. Okay? Their patient, a 6-year-old child, was under investigation for presumably unrelated immunodeficiency disorder, but her mother also complained that she periodically had a marked so the patient was a little girl. She periodically had a marked fish-like smell. Humbert, wait, so there's a little girl named Humbert? I have never heard of a person named a woman or a little girl named Humbert, but okay. Documented that unmetabolized TMA in bile secretions and urine was the offending agent. They showed that the patient increased her urinary TMA by 67% after a 50 milligram kg oral dose of TMA. In contrast to excretion by 3 control patients, a subsequent liver biopsy, and when I looked into liver biopsy, wait, hold on a second. Do I have the liver biopsy thing opened up here? No, I don't. Here's liver biopsy. Liver biopsy. I was like, what the hell? What the hell is a liver biopsy? I don't know what that is. So, looking into liver biopsy, it says, let's see if you see mine. Okay. A liver biopsy is a procedure to remove a small piece of liver tissue so it can be examined under a microscope for signs of damage or disease. Your doctor may recommend a liver biopsy if blood tests or imaging studies suggest you might have a liver problem. A liver biopsy is also used to determine the severity of liver disease. Interesting. So basically, for the first case of trimethylaminuria, they gave her some type of oral dose of TMA and examined her urine, and it seemed as though she had an excess amount of TMA that was excreted through her urine. And then the second thing they did was do a liver biopsy. And let's go back to the am I back to the what did I do? Okay, yeah, so let me see here. There have been numerous liver biopsy on this patient confirmed abnormal enzyme kinetics as predicted. There have been numerous contributions since on clinical presentation, knowledge of the relevant biochemical system, blah, 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 blah. That's not the point. The point is, first, they gave her some type of oral dose, and then they did a liver biopsy, and that was the way they confirmed that they had some unknown or abnormal enzyme kinetics, whatever the fuck that's supposed to mean. So I think liver biopsy is a major thing that I could possibly do, that I could look into and see if I can find out why I have, this weird odor condition. Now, the next question is, who provides liver biopsy? God, Jesus fucking Christ, bro. Who provides a liver biopsy? What? Who? Let's look into it. Who provides liver biopsy? So who performs liver biopsy? Gastroenterologist. Let me see here. Oops. I have changed. Okay. Gastroenterologists, hepatologists, and radiologists perform liver biopsies, which leads me into another thing that I want to talk about. This week, I actually went to, let me see here. this week I actually went into a gastroenterologist. I went to a gastroenterologist, and it was on a Friday. And basically, I did my explanation to why I was there a little bit differently compared to the previous doctors, because the previous doctors I talked to in the last 2 months was a primary care physician, and it was also a gastroenterologist. And I told him about this I told him about having a rare condition called T-mal, but something similar. And I realized in retrospect, when I say this, they're always going to look at you like this is something outside of my field of knowledge. So they're never going to provide any type of information or do any type of analysis on it, because they're like, okay, I don't know. I'm going to be hands off. I don't know what I'm going to do. There's nothing I can do about it if I don't know how to handle this thing. So on this particular case, on this Friday, which was 2 days ago, when I went to the gastroenterologist, I was like, okay, yeah, I have this. I didn't say I had T-mal. I said I have this unknown condition where I eat food and I give off smell, and based on certain foods I eat, I tend to smell worse. And I went to examine, and I feel like it has something to do with my liver or possible pancreas. And I want to do as many tests as I can. One, I want to test if I have SIBO. Two, I want to test if there's something wrong with my liver. I'm going to do all liver tests and all pancreas tests. And the doctor, surprisingly, the doctor took me seriously, and it's like, okay, well, we'll do that for you. So what they did is they sent me some testing kits. They gave me 2 cups where I was supposed to they gave me 2 cups, and then they gave me this little plate cup thing, this plate cup container where I'm supposed to put it but on top of my toilet, and I'm supposed to take a dump in it, and I haven't gotten to the best part yet. After I take a dump in it, the excretions I'm supposed to take out, I'm supposed to extract, right? And put it in these 2 cups. And then I'm supposed to freeze them and then drop them off in some lab testing, office or whatever. So in my freezer at this moment, I have 2 cups of frozen poop. I have poop popsicles in my freezer at this moment, and I gotta wait till tomorrow, early in the morning tomorrow, to drop them off at the lab so they can do some analysis on my poop particles and shit. So that's the thing. See, it says frozen. You got to keep it frozen. And I could have done it on a Saturday, but the thing is, when you make bowel movements, it's like there's always a time period where you typically make a bowel movement. So by the time I got my little poop cups or the poop containers, why am I laughing? But by the time I got them, I was not in the mood my body was not in the mood to make a bowel movement, right? So, yeah, and within those, once I ship them off to the lab, they're supposed to analyze, one is supposed to analyze them for Helicobacteria, what was it called? Helicobacteria, H. pylori. And it's funny because I know I did this years ago and I got a negative result for H. pylori. So I don't think anything's going to happen for that. But they said within the analysis of my excretions, it's also going to check if I have SIBO or whether or not I have SIBO. And there's also the second test is supposed to check if there's anything wrong with my pancreas and somehow. And then there's another test I'm supposed to do where I'm supposed to get an ultrasound of my liver to see if anything's wrong with that. So there's 3 tests, and then when I was I thought this was all helpful for the gastroenterologist, and at the same time I mentioned about liver biopsy. I said, okay, and I also want to do a liver biopsy because I feel like that would be the strongest proof that there might be something amiss within my pancreas, or I guess more specifically my liver. So when I told him that, He's like, well, let's put that as the last thing to do because there might be some complications during liver biopsy. You know, there might, you know, if something goes wrong, you might have problems with like your liver or something like that. Within the article, let me switch to the article real quick. Here. Why is it done? Risk. Here's the risk. A liver biopsy is a safe procedure when performed by an experienced doctor. Possible risks include pain at the biopsy site is the most common complication after liver biopsy. Bleeding, infection, bacteria may enter the abdominal cavity or bloodstream. Accidental injury to a nearby organ. Temporary voice problems. Wait, what? And a transjugular procedure. What the fuck? A transjugular procedure. Temporary problems within the facial nerves. What the fuck? There's like lots of like weird stuff that might happen if it goes wrong. But man, I'm willing to take that risk. I need to figure out what the fuck is going on with me. So I mean, that sounds bad and shit, but fuck that shit. I'm gonna still try. Is there anything else I wanted to talk about? Yes. So going back to this email, is this the email? So this is the email from the Children's People of Colorado, or whatever it's called, Children's Hospital Colorado. All right, and yeah, I was saying, all right, well, I was reading up on the first person who was diagnosed with TMAL. Apparently, there was a doctor that was managed to give the little girl 50 milligrams of TMA, also liver biopsy. I'm wondering if you know the type of doctor who gives a liver biopsy. Okay, we already know that's a gastroenterologist, a hepatologist, and some other doctor. And they just responded, good morning. Unfortunately, we don't have a list of providers that we can recommend for you, but maybe you can call your PCP or reach out to your local hospital and set up a meeting with the GI doc and go from there. I wish you the best on your search and sorry we can't be of more assistance. First off, the reason why I'm showing you this email is because I feel like these guys, these children's hospital guys are so inept, bro. Like, they are not helpful in the slightest. But lastly, I just wanted to go over a couple of things. Within my comments, when I was talking about, one of my blogs, I was talking about, I was talking about trying to find a doctor, appropriate doctor that can analyze or figure out what's wrong with me. Someone suggested some common sense shit. And they said, hey, why don't you just go to a metabolic doctor? I was like, a metabolic doctor? I didn't even know there's such thing. Apparently there is. If you type in metabolic doctor, what is that? It is, well, I'm sorry. I'm spelling it incorrectly. I said it is, it's an endocrinologist. I thought it's going to show up endocrinologist. It's an endocrinologist. A metabolic doctor is an endocrinologist. So within this week, I scheduled 2 endocrinologists that are far away, like 2 months. One is happening in December, another one's happening in October. So they're far away. I'm trying to schedule another one. But yeah, that's another thing that's happening. God damn, it's 18 minutes. Jesus fucking Christ. But yeah, that's a lot that's happening to me. So I'm going to send my poop popsicles to the, the lab and drop them off. This week, I'm going to go to some type of facility to do some type of ultrasound on my liver and see what happens with that. And yeah, there's a lot of other things to talk about, but I only wanted to be 10 minutes and it's far from 10 minutes. So I'm going to end it right here. See you later.